Alright, let's get started. So, overlay, go away. I'm gonna switch to a different soundtrack to listen to. Let's go relaxing for now. Yeah, that'll do. So, a while ago, it's probably like a month by now. At least like 2 weeks ago, I was working on round maps, and I had a vacation, had some other stuff to participate in the Civ Builder free-for-all, which was a lot of fun. But I still want to finish up, or well, finish up is perhaps not the right word. But let's check the progress that we've made so far. So here's African clearing. That's fine. I was going alphabetically. Alpine Lakes. Also did that. Some of them I'm going to have to take a peek at the neutral resources, but in principle this is working. I need to refresh exactly how we are doing this as well. Amazon Tunnel, yep. Bit of an awkward wood line, but I seem to recall this one gave us some amount of trouble, didn't it? Get it set up properly. Alright. Arabia from... Oh, that's the non-Crazini Arabia. I can do a modern Arabia as well, but this is a good start. Archipelago? Okay. Looks fine. Right, Arena. Did we do that? We did Arena as well. From what I remember, we done the A maps and the B maps, and I don't know if we did any of the C maps that start with C yet or not. I think that's somewhere around there is where we are. Make sure I'm not muted. No, I'm fine. Good. Alright, let's see. Baltic? Yeah, Baltic wasn't too hard. There were a couple that I spent a lot of time on, and a couple that were quite easy, what I recall. I could also consider just uploading the map pack as is, kind of, and just each time I complete things, add them to it. Because the overall project is going to take still a while. Fine. Bogland. Do I still have small trees active? Oh, I want to disable my small trees mod. I will do that shortly. Oh, Bogland, I remember. There was some sort of weird issue going on with the bog terrain. Coastal, I did. That was one of the early ones that I did as a proof of concept. Looks a bit bulb-shaped, but works as such. Perhaps a bit too rounded. Coastal Forest. That is where we were stuck, I'd say. Or what we didn't try yet. Yeah. Alright. That's gonna need some work. First, I'm going to turn off small trees because I'm no longer playing in a tournament right now, so... Small trees. They're still going to be on, in all likelihood, but... once we... I'm actually going to restart the game. Yeah, I'm going to restart the game. Because I still don't want the Civ Builder stuff messing up either. I disabled / uninstalled those mods. It didn't crash this time. Go, let's relaunch it. We can also open the notepad window now. You guys should be able to see it, yep. Yeah, Coastal Forest. And I have like my base, round base that I can paste into. I think that I have pasted into everything, I believe. Yeah. Oh, I think I was adjusting some scaling, wasn't I? Or have I already went and done all that, is a bit the question. God, I don't remember all the steps I was doing for this. Alright. Oh, not skirmish, but that's good. Alright, Coastal Forest is actually one that we should be trying for before. Yeah. That's the target size for that one. Okay, good. Now, yeah, I wanted to check if I had like a spreadsheet of what I need to resize. CircleLands.ods. Let's try that one. Alright, I'm going to keep the spreadsheet open. I might need it. I don't recall rightly. So I've pasted in... kind of need to take a look now to see what I've actually done here. Pasted in the thing to resize it. In order to compensate for it being larger. Did I do anything with... Ah. Okay. I think what we need to do is generate Coastal Forest. Okay, so essentially we want a strip of water along the outside. We want this gold empty area at the bottom. And that's the main thing that we're losing when we're making it round. Okay, so the bottom we're going to need to deal with in the top, essentially. So this is going to require a bit of work, so we'll do it step by step. Okay, so at that point we've done nothing. Need to see where all of these lands are and what they're doing. Okay, so this... I see. Alright, so if we just go all the way to here, what does it look like at that point? Ah, we put in the elevation and stuff. I wonder if I can solve the whole thing by scooting this block upwards. If I cut, scoochify that up to the top, right about here. That is worse. Yeah, no, that's not gonna do. That won't do at all. Okay. That back where it goes. Alright. I guess we're gonna have to do some manual adjustment. Oh dearie me. Right here, we're gonna start here. I guess this is why I stopped with Coastal Forest. I got that. Okay. So the top is just too close to the top. Let's see if we can scoot it down a bit. So that'll be the top border and the right border. 11. So what if we make that like 15? For all of these? It's gonna make it the whole thing smaller, of course, but... let's try that. Alright, well, we've moved the forest down, I suppose. Doesn't really need to be 15. What was I changing here? Alright. Let's put all of these back to 11. So it's basically, this is the the hill, right? I think the 15 was decent. Like, this is too close to the edge of the top. The 11 clearly doesn't work. So we'll change these here. This is essentially the same thing, just duplicated, right? And then these are doing different. Wow, we have two sets of lands. Alright. Okay, so we've scooted the hill down. Good. Now we need to scoot the coast down as well. I suppose that's what we'll be doing later. This layer F thing. We need to check. We need to check what's going on with all this shit. So this is. Let's just do like ice, so that I can see what's going on. Basically, the whole thing consists of 3 lands. Fair enough. This is identical, isn't it? Yeah. Fine. Then layer C here. This one. Let's see what this one is. It's like an internal one. It has a higher base elevation, but is otherwise the same. And has smaller borders. I see, I see, I see. Yeah, it's basically just an internal one that's even higher. This mountain in the middle. Fine, that's fine. How about this one here? I think this is the one at the bottom. We're gonna have to scoot that one up a bit. That's pretty fuzzy. 78, let's make that 72. Yeah. We don't want to overdo it, but we do need it to scoot up a bit, something like that, maybe? Yeah, something like that. Cool. Now we don't need the ice, that was like layer F, wasn't it? Layer F. Fine. Now comes the fun business. Dealing with all this other stuff. Okay, so now there's kind of room here for this land in the corner. That's decent. This at the top needs to be water, though. That still needs more work. Right. Pause one player game. 2-player game. These are just positions. Fine. Fine. Let's do, 1-player game. On this size, mind you. Okay, so it picks a random position. This is 0%, so this is pause one when we want. I think we can just skip all of these. And not worry about messing with any of them. Yeah, so we do something like that. Now, after we've established the player lands, they're not yet visible because they're tiny. That's fine. Then we're creating beach with a left border. Okay. We're gonna have to go through this step by step. I see. Okay. I think we need to go slightly away. Yeah, just do like 1% less for all of these. We're going to test the different sizes for this. Alright, then we're going to do the same thing here. That's not going to be enough. I'm going to have to make a third land at the top. But we'll get to that. 6, 7, 8. So if I do that, we should have the 2 beaches. I've made them a bit bigger. Fine. Now, what does this thing do? Is that it in terms of land generation? Uh-huh. Is this just the land in the top corner? 99-1. think it is. I think it's the one in the top corner. I just need to make this thing much bigger. And we should be good to go. Because this is not suitable. So, we are currently on what's a huge map. We're going to do 18. Let's make that 24. Alright, let's make it 32. Alright. Fuzziness. This thing doesn't have borders, though. Alright, I think we need to do this differently. We do want the land in this position. It was beach. Alright, it can stay ice while we sort this stuff out. It's gonna be 100%. And we're gonna need some borders. And I'm gonna add bottom border of let's say 80. Left border of 80. Right border of -15. Top border of -15. The reason why we do this is so that to help round out the curvature a bit, so it doesn't round back in on itself in the area that's still part of the map. You could do something like that. And we just take a peek at it. My trunk. I'm not so impressed. I am not impressed by this. At all, I've got to say. Am I doing the wrong borders? It should be bottom border. Border. This should work, right? Bottom and left are the two that I need to be avoiding. It just doesn't really want to grow enough. Well, let's just increase the size of it as well while we're here. Yeah, that land is not interested in growing. Why is it not interested in growing is my question. Do I have the wrong borders? If I do this, that should scooch the land somewhere else. Yeah, that's not it. Set at 100%. I suspect these other lands are being annoying. What am I doing wrong? There's something I'm missing here. I just can't see it right now. I said land percent 100. Why does it not want to grow? Why does it not want to grow? What if I did that? It's not the reason though, is it? Ah. Apparently it is. What the heck is going on here? Oh, I see. I was missing a negative. Yeah. My fault. False alarm. All that jazz. Yeah, much better. Okay. Now we can re-uncomment all this stuff. There we go. Something along those lines, right? And then we say it's actually beach. And then we see if that magically is enough for our map. Which it's not going to be, but we'll try. Where did all of the hills go? And this forest here that's supposed to be in the middle. Did I overwrite it? With this big land? Probably. No, did I comment it out? Probably. There we go. We're getting there. Been a long day. Okay. Good, but not good enough. I think we need the water to go along the top here. There is actually no land there, so how could I produce this water? Let's just see if this shouldn't work, because the black areas are overriding it. That's the issue, yeah. This is an interesting challenge. Like, essentially I don't want to mess with any of this area, but I need this part to be water. And it's not going to want to do it. I need to put a waterland right there. And the coordinates that would fit there are going to be something like 75, 25. Okay, that is going in the right direction. And now we no longer need a huge base size. The base size can basically be negligibly small. Something like that. better-ish. We're getting there, we're getting there. It'll require a bit of fine-tuning. Also, maybe I will pick some different music. What else do we have? Let's do this one. I should look up some more soundtracks that I can use. Alright, that was overdoing it, whatever I just did there. Alright. Okay. I mean, if the water was that, like, that would be almost okay, I'd say. Scoot it up a bit, like 73. We do want it, we might need to add 2 additional lands. Thinking like here and here. To help out. This is helpers. Oh, this is kind of the look that we want, okay. Why is that not working? Do I need to scoot this further down? Where is this land actually being produced? Let's see it. I think the other lands are overriding sometimes. Okay, so that's where it is. Honestly, it doesn't need to be nearly that far down. We just need our nice water connecting everything. Almost. We're almost there. I could. I've got an idea for how this can work, actually. Let's scoot it 85-15. What if I go 90 and 10? At some point, we have to get to the point where the black terrain is overriding, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, cool. So I think we could use that, and then I just need to bridge this area, which I have an idea for. So we have this, we have terrain generation. Fine, we'll take a look at that in a moment. We have terrain generation, we have objects generation, we have the classic case of putting elevation later than it belongs in the script. Elevation occurs before terrain generation. Alright. And then let's add a connection generation section. Connection generation. Create, connect all lands. Alright, and we want to place terrain. I don't even know what this stuff is. Alright, we will figure out what that is before we need to look at the terrain generation section before we can do this. I've got a plan. Alright, so that's kind of what we're looking at here. Let's just work our way through. So anything that has land percent was something I needed to adjust, right? I needed to adjust that. I have a spreadsheet where I can change a land percent. Like land percent 20 becomes land percent 16. Land percent. Although land percent 100 is fine. We're creating water on beach with the spacing. Okay, so before we started, we were here. We had beach, and then we created water on the beach. We created a bunch of times. But only on the flat part of the beach. Fine. I'll accept that. Then we're creating layer C on layer A. Alright, so the stuff we've got. We have... I need to make myself a list of this. We have Voda. We have layer C. We have layer A. This is all like 100% of stuff as well. That's before we get to any forest. So we've created this other terrain here that we're going to end up putting the forest on later. This area looks fine. Okay. Okay, so this land percent, that's where I need to start adjusting things. Although, do we? This is where I have to say, usually I was adjusting the land percent for forests because it's a percent of the whole map, but part of the map is missing. So the actual area that we're putting it into is smaller than it would otherwise be, which is also the case here. This green area is smaller, so that is fair to adjust that. 14 becomes 11. And 6 is going to become 5, yeah. So something like that. Okay. Then we have small player forests. We'll keep those at 2%. Gold spots. We have Woodies and Woodies B. Well, none of these are here. Small player forests are Woodies B. Okay. Full woodlands? Yeah. Okay, then we're creating these things here. Okay. In case water is added later. Bit of water masking, sure. And this is one problem where like it gets shallower again closer to the edge of the map. I can't do anything about that as such. I'm creating layer B on layer A. What did I say? Was I adjusting the land percent for visual stuff too? I think I was. Don't remember. Should go back and watch the VOD. 14. By the way, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. I know there are some people in chat and a fair number of bots, it seems. Right. 14, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Ah, that's what this is. So we're adding basically leaves. So we're creating layer B on layer A, then we're creating DLC rock on layer B, then we're creating layer A on layer B, and so basically we just added a layer B. Fine. Layer B. Then what is this here? We're creating layer... Nope. Creating layer E on A, F on A, F and B and A. Alright, so we added basically E, F as well. Alright, so now I need to get this connection sorted. So, my thought was this. We want to replace terrain beach with water. No, don't do that. We want to replace terrain. Essentially, we're going to need to do layer A. Looking at my list, we're going to have to do layer A to A, B, C, E, F. Apparently there was no layer D. Layer... Yeah, there's no layer D. Okay. Now, we also need to replace Woody's B. We can even do Voda here instead of water, technically. We can do that. That does really matter. Woody's B. Then we need to do the fun stuff. Terrain cost. We do not want this to pass through layer A. We do not want it to pass through layer B. We actually don't want it to pass through any of these layers that we have. It's allowed to replace part of it, but not pass through it, if that makes sense, which it doesn't, but I'll show you. I want it to run along the beach on the edge, which is actually a problem, isn't it? Also, in order for this to not crash the game, we need to add... Oh, wasn't there an issue with the black terrains? This is going to crash the game, isn't it? Sync connections don't work. DLC black needs to have a cost of 0. I don't know if this trick is gonna work. We might just be crashing the game here. We'll see. Okay. That's kind of what I want to do. We have 2 layers, eh? Alright, let's see if it crashes. There's like a 50% chance that this just crashes right now. Yeah, okay, that crashed. Send error report, send error report. That's what I thought would happen. Okay, so that trick's not going to work. At all. We're going to have to do this differently. No connections. Oop. We are going to produce an additional 2 additional lands that look like this land here. Yeah, we can already work on those lands actually. So we're going to need one of these is going to have to be sort of on the left and one of them on the right, so... Where can I position this one? This one's gonna be at like 8812. So more like 80 but 5. Well, let's just make it ice so that we see it. Yes. This is a really dangerous prompt because if you click somewhere else on the screen, then it just takes that as a no, and then all your mods are disabled and you have to go manually re-enable them. Like if you skip the intro, it's really easy to accidentally just click away that message and be like, shit. My mods are all disabled now. Okay, let's do this. I seem to recall some of the maps were less work than this. No, stop crash. Did I not save changes? God damn it. Send error report, send error report. I didn't save changes. Go away. That was my fault. I accept responsibility. Launch that again. If I press escape here to skip the intro, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that because then the error message is going to pop up and I will have escaped out of the error message and my mods will be disabled. You shouldn't be able to click away the error message by clicking someone, right? You should have to choose one of these two options. Honestly, this shouldn't exist, and you definitely shouldn't be able to click here to make this go away. Now let's not crash the game. Good. Now I just need to reposition where we want. We kind of want it to be sort of a smaller shape, so we want... What do I want? I want the bottom border to be like 80. The left border can be 65. Better-ish. And the top, the right border doesn't need to be minus 15, it can be 10 at this point. Good-ish. Now the bottom border can be 85. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Now we make that beach. Like, we're missing, like, the lowlands here, but that's okay. I think that's unacceptable loss. This, on the other hand, is not as acceptable. What if we made this like 75? Not particularly effective. Alright, what about these other lands? Let me give them a position as well. This is the one that is using the left border, so it's on the right. It should be like 98, 50. Just make sure that's correct. Yeah, I basically just put it somewhere here. And we'll do the same thing for this one. Land position. That one should be 50, 98. Here I did something wrong. It should not be 50, 98. It should be 52. What's the base size on this file? Specify base size. How do I make these lands merge? I could give them the same zone, but they're already not avoiding each other as such. Repositioning it has no effect. Basically, it's this land here, but what I need to do is I need to adjust the left border. If I make it 60. And then what if I made the other border like 90? Made this one 20. Experimenting here. That's just worse. That has no effect, this border. Right, just get rid of it. I don't know. Keep this one around for now. Change that to 85. That deals with that quite nicely. We add this back and we're gonna It's a lot of tweaking here. Alright, let's just try a couple generations, see. We end up with little islands. Those are okay. We end up with that. That's less okay, but fine. We could increase the the base size of 10. What if we create this one last? Same seed. Better. We haven't dealt with the right side here, we're only looking at the left at this point. I don't really like this occurrence. What if we scoochify this land 50? We say it's not at 50, but it's at... Just put it at 60. What's going on there? 56, 65. Alright, maybe this. Watch this totally break on the other sizes. I'm not sold on this. Let's put it on 55 again. Let's do the other side. So we just mirror this land, basically. 75.5, so essentially want the other side. We want 95. We want 95, 75. No, 95, 25 is what we want. And then the bottom border becomes the 60. Left border becomes the 85. This becomes the minus 15. This becomes the 10. Oh. We get these little islands. That's okay. Let's say. As long as they don't connect. Okay, let's say that that's fine. Activate the objects generation section. Creating the blocker on any beach that's adjacent to the black terrain. Relics, that's fine. The gold... We need the gold to be... It's alright. There's not enough room for it now, so we need to allow it to be closer to players. Make sure that enough gold spawns down there. Yeah, something more like that. And we'll also cut the spacing down a little bit. There we go, round coastal forest is done. That took... Well, it actually took about as much work as I thought it would, which is a fair amount. I could solve this, I think, if I go... Scroll. If I go to these, and I just take the border fuzziness here, and up that a bit, to make it less fuzzy. Doesn't really help as much as I hoped it might. Don't know. Didn't really do as much as I thought it might. It's probably good to have the border not as fuzzy though, just... No, we'll change it back. We can also make this... If I make these two borders fuzzy... What if I change both of these to 5? All of these to 5? This is probably a horrible idea, but let's... see, let's try it. Hello. Thank you for joining. Doesn't look as horrible as I thought it might. Let's try other sizes now. I think this one's looking good. This is what I'm trying to avoid. Yeah. Because the lands don't like growing into each other. More lands is probably the answer here, unfortunately. Oh, they do have border avoidance. The thing is, it's the issue that lands, like when they're growing into each other, they should merge here, but they don't. Maybe I just expand the amount of beach by 1. How would I do that? I essentially create the non-beach terrain everywhere but 1 tile away. Yeah, that's what we do. So before terrain generation, we have everything looking like this. And now what I'm going to do is I will create terrain. What is this stuff? We want to create beach on layer A. Now we want to create... We just need to create a placeholder. So we're going to create terrain ice. And then... This might be too much work. The entire black thing is a bunch of lands. It's a bunch of small lands. Growing into the corners doesn't work so well. I mean, I could do a border and then fill it, but that I just am doing a bunch of lands for it. As to why we're doing this, basically just for fun and because it's interesting for gameplay not to have corners that you can hide in, but having to deal with a round map. Age of Empires 3, for example, does round maps. Alright, I'm going to try this idea. I don't think it will work, but let's see. I'm going to create ice on base terrain layer A. Basically, everywhere we have layer A, we create ice with something like this. So we'd end up with a bunch of ice. Fine. Although the little clumps, not all of them have become it. Now if I did spacing to other terrain types 1... Now was the big trick. If we did this, and then we go layer... No, we want to create beach on layer A, but also with a spacing to other terrain types of 1. Now we've essentially achieved nothing. That didn't work as well as I thought it might. Beach on layer A. Problem is if I do a spacing of 0, then it's going to create beaches all over the place. Well, yes. Yeah. I could have the other lands when they're growing avoided in the first place. The weird thing is that coastal forest doesn't. Its base terrain is not water. Its base terrain is land. And then it creates these areas with creates lands here to create these lakes. I think what I need is another set of lands. I need one more. This can have. What kind of position? We want 275. We want this positioned at 65 with a bottom border of 90. Base size of 10 will allow that. And 55. So something like that, I will... Yeah, let's try this. I did do the zone avoidance with coastal. In this case, I want to, where possible, sort of keep the nature of the original map intact. Just because it saves me a lot of time as well. So if I can make it work sort of the way it is set up, then I'll try to do that. 55, this should be like 90 now. Let's just, if I just put this in as is. Solved it in this specific case. We don't have connection generation. This thing can be even closer to the edge. It could be on 0, honestly. Okay, maybe 0 is not a good idea. Should have worked though, to be honest. Maybe it wasn't growing then though. Okay, let's generate a couple now to see if we still have a cutoff. If they're little islands, that's fine, but I don't want it to be cut off ever. It's looking better. No! No way! I think what I need actually is a long... is a really long land that's positioned far outside, and then its position scales to map size. Or its base radius scales to map size. We're going to take the same seed again. We're going to change this to ice so I can see what's happening. Okay, so this land is kind of positioned here. Its bottom border could be 50. That might do the trick. In this specific case. What's going to happen is I'm going to keep adding lands to fix specific cases. Like originally they just had two, one on each side for a coastal forest. And I've added... Oh, they had this one in the middle too. I scooted that one down, then I added two on each side of it, and now I've added two more. To try and make this body of water suitable. I think we've got it now. Watching the mini-map here, it's looking better. Yeah, okay, let's load the other sizes. 484 again. Just because I made some changes on it, double check. No, not hyper random, what have I done? I think this is good. Now let's try 2v2. Yeah, having the ring in the corner would work as well. As such, it takes up less space in the script, but is otherwise functionally equivalent. It might not work on all sizes, although it should. But this, the way I'm doing it right now, works as well. No, I'm doing that random again. Maybe I can do one more map after this. I don't want to do too long of a session today, but... just maybe get an easy one done as well. Okay, this looks fine. Two players, go! Coastal Forest. I mean, no one ever plays it. It's strictly a team game map, but technically, it's generating. Fine by me. Yeah, good, good. All right, I think this counts as done. So the next one would be Continental. And I think I have time to do that. That might end up being the last one. Let's see. Okay. See, we will need to do some adjustment. Although... let's just generate Continental normally again. It's been a while, so... So, Continental seems to have water on all sides for 1v1. And it's gonna have sort of bodies of... like basically an island in the middle that both players are connected to. Is what we're looking at for 1v1. Let's look at the code. Create player lands. Oh, that's it, I think. Alright, that's really straightforward, actually. Okay. no fancy adjustment is going to be needed other than adjusting our percentages. So in principle, that is just continental done. However, you know, we have some things to adjust. So first things first, land percentages should be adjusted. So this is fill the center. That should be smaller here, yeah. So we're going to adjust all the percentages as we should. That should become 8%. Base size, that's fine. I could reduce the borders on it, maybe. Well, yeah, you wrote me. I've been wanting to work on them some more. And that was a bit of the motivation got me to sit down and actually do a bit today. 50, so that needs to be less as well. That needs to become whatever, 42 or so. 39. And what is this here? It has a chance to stay further away from some borders than from others. Let's see. We might have to activate circle radius here so that we don't have this business happening. Okay, so I reduced the percentages a little bit. I mean, it's basically continental, right? I think that can just work. I need to reduce the wood lines, of course, but as such, it's fine. Technically, I'd also have to reduce the elevation generation. Okay, woody. So 7 should become, I have my spreadsheet here, 7 becomes 5. Do I need to reduce the number of clumps? Because the clumps are scaling with map size? That's something I didn't consider on the previous one. I think I do, right? Because there's scaling by groups. I'll start by doing this. That should have smaller wood lines. I need to quickly check set scale by groups. I think I have to reduce that as well, right? Terrain generation. Set scale by size. Scales number of tiles by map size. Okay, so that scales number of tiles, but we're... If I see those, I should scale them as well. Definitely. If I see a set scale by size, I'll note that down. That hasn't been something that we've seen recently. Set scale by size. And set scale by groups. Scales number of clumps to map size. When used with number of tiles, the total tiles are scaled to map size as well, but only for terrain, not elevation. Okay. Set scale by groups. Then, in that case, I need to go back as well quickly to Coastal Forest and take another peek there. Scaling. just to make sure I didn't miss anything too important. Scroll, 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 scroll. Okay. That was all 100%. That's fine. 100%, 100%, 100%. We had 58 clumps. Yeah. So this type of thing I need to adjust. Quickly back to coastal forest. Voda. The 58 becomes 46. And 140 becomes 110. And 18 is going to be fewer as well. 14. Okay. Do we want to scale that down to 10? I guess we could. Scale that down to an 8. I don't know, did I scale this? It's 100, 100, 100. 20 is going to become like 16 probably? Yeah. So I have a spreadsheet where I basically did a fancy calculation and then determined that 21% of the map is dead zone. So anything that scales to the map size needs to be reduced by 21% in order to still cover the same percentage of the remaining map. Because we are increasing the overall map size such that the number of tiles in the playable area stays the same as it was when it was square. That makes sense? So this should become 11, and now coastal forest is done. That won't make a big difference, it just makes some of these clumps a bit smaller and stuff. Back to continental. Boop. And we're back, and it's still looking very round, gotta say. So, go away coastal forest, we're done with you. We changed that. So the 10, yeah, it needs to become an 8 probably. I should just have a list of these so I don't need to type it in every time. Let's patch. 20 becomes 16, 16 becomes 13 or so? Fine, that's fine, that's fine. 24 clumps is going to become 19. Okay, cool. So that's all technically scaled correctly. The elevation... cliff... we'll leave that as is. I think I need to slightly reduce the amount of terrain still. Oh, there was a case there again where it was too close to the edge. Let me generate until I get another one of those, and then we can do something about it. So this I want to avoid. And I think the solution here is to put in a circle radius. Say... if Battle Royale, I can do that. Else, we still want a circle radius. 38 will do that with a variance of 3. Oh boy, that's 38 is no good. What did I do? Let me check what I did with a circle radius on, say... Coastal? I did 30 with a variance of 2. I think that's a decent amount. Let's check what I did on Arabia as well. $38. Okay, but there's no water on the outside to interfere with. Let's try this. It'll put players a bit closer to the center. I feel like the map is a bit too round still. Let's try normal continental again. Yeah, normal continental has like these big stretches of water out sometimes. Well, okay. Not huge, but 39. Let's make this like 35. Oh, the other thing we could do is we could up the other zone avoidance distance. Let's make this 35. Yeah. Make sure there's a bit more water on the map. Yeah, okay, that's better. And then this outside just feels a bit skinny. What if we just made this like 6? Just add 1 tile? So there's enough. Yeah, okay, sometimes there's a big body of water. I like that. Sometimes there isn't. I like that less. Let's see, 35. Let's make it 33. Yeah, I think that's good. Maybe I reduced the land too much here. This just feels very round. Split the difference, 34%. And now we try larger sizes. Actually, let me see if there's anything else I need to scale. If tiny map. Blah, 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 blah. Actor areas. Connection generation. I cannot connect to all lands. I can only connect to player lands, otherwise it will crash due to the black terrain on the outside. This is all fine. I think we try the larger sizes now. Continental. Go. Yeah. Maybe I need to up the land percent again. Although I think Continental kind of looks like this too when you do the normal Continental. It basically does. It's a bit pretty space filling, honestly. So let's do if tiny map. What did we have like originally? It was like 39 or something, right? Else. Try that. That's gonna make a huge difference. But that's looks good. It's not too round by any means. We have some continental land masses, we have some water, perfect. You got the other face on the loading screen. So let's take a peek. This one looks fine. I'm doing this to all the official maps, and maybe some custom ones as well. But I'm not going to make balance changes to the official maps. Just taking them as is and making them round. That's fine. Let's try the 8-player version. Fine. I think that's fine. Alright. I think that's good. Shall we do another one? Let's just take a sneak peek at what will be up next, which is Crater. Which I suspect will be a lot more work than Crater Lake after it. Crater. So previously I'd already pasted in my round code into everything, but yeah, this one is going to need work. I'm not sure that I'm up to doing that work tonight. That sounds like something for another night. If we just do normal Crater, it looks... Okay, so we have trees on the outside, and then we have the crater on the inside. Fine. In principle, that should lend itself to being round. However, we have some avoidance issues. Where it's going down again rather than being elevated. So what I need... I think that I need to elevate the black terrain, and that should do the trick. So we're gonna do... Oh, I just noticed something. There are 2 spaces here. What we're gonna do is we are going to take terrain black, and we're gonna replace that with stealth, but also with a base elevation 7, probably. Yeah. This map has connection generation that it doesn't, section that it doesn't use, so we're going to delete that. We're going to move the elevation generation section where it belongs, which is before terrain generation. And we're going to add this stuff that I just did. We're going to do replace all. Okay. Now, welcome back. I have made some progress on Crater. Elevated the black area, that was necessary. We're not getting the forests on the outside yet, so we'll have to work on that next. But it looks better now. Finished Continental. Okay, so before, if we just... For the elevation generation section, let's see what it looks like. Fine. Then it generates a bunch of elevation, which it does as is. We're not going to touch that. So it's just doing 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Anyway. This stuff here, technically, I could adjust. Let's see. Small hills. If tiny map, do I care enough to rescale all of this? I probably should. Yeah, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay. 30 becomes 19. 42 becomes 33. Becomes 47. The real issue is going to be the terrains, but I think it might not be as big of an issue as I thought at first. Already just adding the base elevation to black terrain has helped a lot. Becomes 7. 94. Three, 7, 7. All right. 500 becomes 393. I don't know if this is all necessary, but let's do it properly. 565. That should become 5S. 385. Wonder if I could automate this, but I'd have to screen for the specific things that I want to scale and not everything else. 1680. It's 1319. 2000. 1571. And 8,000, I mean, who's gonna play this on Ludicrous, but 6283. Good. Done. Scaling the little hills. So there will be just slightly fewer of these little ones. But now let's deal with the terrain. So we'll have to actually, let's just check. Land percent 100, that's fine. That's also fine. Terrain generation. So we begin by creating woodies, and now comes the problem. Because this wants to space itself to other terrain types. And unfortunately, the only places that can do that is here, because we have black terrain everywhere else. I mean, that would be quite easy to implement. I could just put something at the front of the script that either loads the official map or doesn't and loads whatever's in the file. So let's check this one again. Trader. Like they shouldn't play out that differently. It would initially throw people for a loop. Okay, so basically this wood line is supposed to avoid there's supposed to be room to build a lumber camp, and then wood to the edge. How do I implement this? Is the question. We have to brainstorm a bit for that. Because if I just say zero was 10. Then we end up with that. Then we could create snow on, yeah, this is what we do now. Now we create snow, or I guess we create layer A on the woodies. Only where with the same height limits, with the same land percent, and we want this to stay like 8 tiles away, maybe? Whoa, what did I do here? Oh, F12. Nope. There we go. Whoops. Good. Let's find for you guys again. Aha, I see. Not quite what I had in mind. Alright, let's get rid of the height limits. Alright, let's make it 4. I need to. Why is this? Okay. Yeah, something like that. But then this part here. I can deal with that afterwards. That's okay. That's. Okay, so we might need to make this border a bit more round. But in principle, I think we've got it down how this is gonna work out. Something like that is fine. Then what we need to do is do this again. But with 10 now. We get that. Alright. With 6? Oh, this is... I can make it avoid slopes, can't I? Yeah. Set flat terrain only. Set flat terrain only. We'll make it avoid slopes by the amount that I put in here. So if I now put in 2, and I guess for good measure we'll keep the height limits. Now. We're getting there. Getting there now. Probably we need a bigger spacing, but it's... This is a fun one to try and solve. Alright, I like this. We're getting quite close to what it should look like. If I just uncomment the rest now. Sometimes you get enough room to build a TC up there, and that's no good. We will deal with that, though, in due time. Yeah. We'll deal with that by making the whole area rounder. And how will we achieve that? So at the beginning, we are creating... Let's see exactly. I think I've got it. Yeah, we're creating this thing. If we try to make it more regular by saying border fuzziness, let's just 100. Let's say we just set 100% border fuzziness. Ew. No. Well, that's no good. Yeah, that's part of the issue, I think. Right. Do we have a circle radius here? We do. Size 12, make space size 6. Size 8. If I did this, we'll have a more regular edge, but I don't think it's... That doesn't help enough because then you end up with this situation here. Why is that diagonal a problem and the others are not? Why is that side specifically a problem? I just copy this. twice more. Will that solve it? It will. Okay, now can we get away with making it a bit less regular again? Instead of 100, let's say we went back to 10. Let's say we did 15. Like that, with like a bit of wiggle room, but not much. Check if we can build a town center there. Yeah, that's not the intention that you can build a town center there. So if I... Well, either we'll just increase the border fuzziness, that's the easy way out. Or... what is it? We're creating woodies on layer A. Then we're creating layer A on woodies. And then we are creating... This is the one that we need to duplicate. Yeah, we want to duplicate this, and we'll even add just 9,320. That should do it, I think. That I was testing, and I don't remember what I did. Well, maybe I was messing around with arena, with the circle arena. There is some business where, of course, you have the issue that you have a bunch of neutral lands where you didn't before, so anything that's avoiding them. But it's generally avoiding neutral lands can cause problems. But yeah, that's one that would very much lend itself to it. I wonder, I can't really get the elevation to be perfectly round. Well, I would need more lands. It's the real answer. Like, this outside area should just be created with lands. Right now, my goal is just to make sure that you can't build a TC anywhere. Which I believe I've managed. In making these, my goal is to produce a map pack. Put it out there. Just to make it available for people to play on. I think there's could probably be interest in using it in a tournament. Some of the maps, at least. I'll reach out to some content creators when I'm done if they want to use it for anything. I do. I only get paid when there's like a big tournament happening and they need a map pack done a specific way. Really, ideally you could make enough from, YouTube and Twitch streaming to be a content creator in Age of Empires, but that doesn't work if you're making mods, I think. Just not enough people watch it. I think this works. Let's see if there's anything else I need to adjust. Land percent. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people use them. Some people find it interesting how it's made. And for a very large game, there would definitely be an audience. For something Age of Empires, it's a bit of a niche audience. Yeah, that's also true. You do need a bit of inside knowledge to really understand it. Or you need to at least be interested in how it works. Well, the amount of land here that's in the circle, that is smaller. It's the same percent of the total. This I don't need to change. I think. Well, it's the overall map is larger. The amount of area allocated to this is a smaller percent of the total map. Same original area. Yeah, down. I can link to it. I can certainly do that. I don't think tournament hosts actually read my guide, though. That's probably only people who are interested in making itself. Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty technical if you're not the person doing the map itself, but having someone else do the map for you. Greater D. Don't know what all of these terrains are doing here. I'm just gonna take it at face value that I should scale them down. Check. Oh my goodness, does this just not have its own object generation, or is this just only for Empire Wars? I think I can just leave it though. No, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, there are certain people who should read it. However, the type of people who read my RMS guide are only really map scripters. But yeah, it makes sense to four players. I could make it a bit less regular again, but I think not. It's actually a fun case here where in the original Crater map, the corners are the better place to chop wood, but here the sides are the better place. Maybe we change this to 15, right? If I change it back to 10, that's gonna be too irregular. That is a bit too irregular. Well, can work. Well, if I convert all the DLC black to forest, then I don't need to be doing this whole thing, because then I can just take the original map and do no changes to it. Right? It probably doesn't in a typical game. However, at that point, it's just the original map. It does matter, though, if it gets to... if the game goes a bit longer, because then you have less wood overall. It's like Arena, right? You could say, why not just have the outside be forest? And it's a fair point, but then I don't need to include it in the round map pack. It's true. Like the maps that use borders to sort of have a central area, like Socotra or like any of the ones we've just looked at, effectively are somewhat round already. Alright, let's load this one. This one... I expected this to be harder to get to work, but it's actually been relatively tame, considering these forests didn't generate at all. Initially. Yeah, that looks fine. So, could do Crater Lake. Crossroads still. Perhaps. I feel like Crater Lake will be easy. Crossroads, less so, probably. Ah, well, I said Crater Lake would be easy. Not quite that easy. Let's... do I want to do... I can do Crater Lake. I think it's not actually going to be much work. And then Crossroads will probably be a nice challenge for another day. Right. So clearly we need to rearrange some things. Okay, Crater Lake has a pretty big lake. Probably I can do kind of what I did with Baltic. In fact, let me even check what I did with Baltic. Oh, I did some fancy stuff where it said smaller, smaller. Ah, I see, I see, I see, I see. Yeah, in practice, it's not good to have... Well, whoever controls that tiny little pile of gold, or whoever controls the island with the gold on it, wins. Well, whoever controls the water will control that, and they win. Alright, so I did some stuff with special sizing, where I gave different borders... Oh dear, dear, oh dear. Okay, so we have some borders here that are definitely going to change. Let me just generate Baltic. Can I just effectively use the Baltic? What did I do for Baltic? Yeah, I feel like I can just use the Baltic code. This is true. The whole problem is that water gameplay in Age of Empires is too snowbally. It's very hard to come back when you're behind. Probably what you need is you would need what the later Age of Empires games have done, where you can either garrison in the dock and or the dock shoots arrows, sort of like a town center. Plus, well, the map specifically needs several islands, but yeah, water unfortunately isn't quite as fleshed out as it could be. I mean, they already improved it, of course, with demo rafts and fire galleys. Alright, go away, Crossroads. That's not interesting. Okay, so essentially we're creating a lake. We're creating a spire. Okay, we're creating a lake, and the lake is massive. The lake needs to have... Alright, Voda. The lake has a zone. Smaller else. The lake, 15, 15, 15, 15. We have here 15. Okay, we just need to up this to 15 to start with. I think that's the first step. And we need to take this 85% and reduce that. Which is still filling all the available space, but so be it for now. Now, that's better. It's a good start. This little island can't get any smaller. I'm gonna avoid this since that needs to stay the same. We want it to be large. We want it to avoid other zones. Player lands need to shrink. Yeah. $39. And we're going to want a circle radius. What did we do in Baltic? Let's grab... Oh, what did I paste in there? Grab this circle radius. Just put it in there. Which point... Order fuzziness 1. When it doesn't need to be in there. Ship fights depend on what they're carrying. Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, that's realistic for boarding ships. Trying to think of a similar game to Age of Empires that does do that. The Total War series, the more recent ones, have quite good naval battles. Boarding and everything, but that's also, for the most part, a different historical time period. This will need more work. I am not so satisfied with this yet. How big were the player lands on Baltic? 39. What if I just keep this at 50? Better. And then we potentially shrink this middle land even more. 67, 67, then it becomes 35. Let's just greater like 67. But basically I just... Oh, it's 2 lands when you have more players. I see, I see, I see. Well, it's just the forests. This map, though, needs more ranges. It'll be alright. We will... 2 to 6. 6 should become 5, yeah. Well, that's going to become a 3. So something like that in terms of resources is more what the woodland should look like. And now we say that this lake is just too big. This is too big. I do. Why is Baltic fine? Smaller, smaller. 67%, 15, 15, 15, 15. Here, the thing in the middle is 67%, 15, 15, 15, 15. It's exactly the same. It could be that the island is causing some issues. Why don't we put the island right in the middle? Or something like that. Like land, position, R&D, 45 to 55. R&D, 45 to 55. That might help. I want to... Might be easier to start from scratch, honestly. But... trying to sort of preserve the official maps the way they are. I feel like we just need to allocate less land to this lake. That seems to be what the issue is. If smaller, we're creating additional voda, else we'll skip that. Here the lands are 55% with a base size of 16, and they only stay 7 away from other things. Here they are 50, so we're going to up this to 55, and they're staying 15 away. This is part of the problem. We need to lower this. And the base size too, actually. Base size was 16. We're gonna take this base size here of 9. Let's turn that into 16. Alright. Well, I've essentially turned it into Baltic. I thought they looked really nice. The ones... I saw them... This was a while ago, though, right? We did some nice stuff with the pillars and the rock terrains. Yeah, just send me, like, a reminder or a message whenever you do something like that, and if I have time, I can try. I think that... there was some reason why I couldn't then. Okay, this land needs to grow more. Why is it not growing? Why is it not growing? Is the land position causing problems? If I remove this, let's try the same seed again. No. Land position is not what's causing problems. Try that now. That's still fine. Adding the position was fine. Adding a land percent. Adding 5 more percent to the land. Fine. Reducing the other zone avoidance distance is probably what killed it. No, that's still okay. Ish. Increasing the base size here to 16 is what killed it. Yeah, okay, that doesn't work. So we'll keep the base size down. Maybe we don't do this after all. Paradise sounds nice. I like maps where I can make the nature look nice, basically. Alright. I think this is kind of what we're looking at in terms of Crater Lake. Is that... I think that's acceptable. It seems like a lot of woodlines, but I suspect the original also has these. Yeah, basically. The original has a bunch of cliffs everywhere too. So why not? And has, you know, an extra unfair... Look how close this island is to this player. And this player here has more fish, I guess. Well, here they at least made the island more centrally positioned, so it's not quite as unfair. Yeah, it's quite wooded. It's a bit of a shit map for 1v1, honestly. Oh well. Let's see what it... Yeah, okay. I think I got it, though. Then let's just scroll down, check all things out, yeah. Ludicrous map, else, fine. Predator, fine, that's all fine. Technically, I should reduce the amount of elevation. Oh, the overall area that it's in is the same. It's not scaling, it is scaling by size. It is scaling by size. Which means I do need to reduce it, yeah. Ring of unbuildable rock terrain around the outside. True, or even just along, yeah, like along the coast. You could just have a beach that you can't wall. Good rock terrain there. Or I suppose on this map you could put it along the very outside. But yeah, I mean, that's right. What you do is you wall off both sides, and then you fight for water. And whoever wins water will win. Once the other player runs out of gold. That's... yeah. Okay, slow 2v2. Oh, not ghost-like. You think around the very outside of the map. If it's on the beach, then of course the player who has water control still is able to at least contest all that. This is true. We center the gold a bit on this thing. There's 3 piles of gold here. Maybe I actually do need to shrink this land on larger sizes. Because it's 5%, maybe it should actually become 4%. Yeah, let's do that. Good enough. Good enough. Like, I can always, you know, spend extra time on the most popular maps. Or if there is actually interest in using something for a tournament, then I can improve those specifically. It's a very different map on the larger sizes. So basically I have like the octopus here. Oh my goodness. Did I not tell this land to be in the middle? I am sorely tempted to give it the order to be at 50-50. That didn't help all that much. I think the issue is that this waterland, of course, is also positioned somewhere. And interferes a bit. No, but it's quite important that this middle one is actually towards the middle. Yeah, the issue is that the waterland needs to be somewhere as well. That's why this is off-center. So it's technically in the middle, but what's happening is it's in the middle and then just like going whoop side. Honestly, wait, what's the base terrain of the map? Layer A. If the base terrain were water, then it would mess. Then the black lands on the outside would cause problems. I could at least tell these to be fine closest to center. I strongly suspect, though, that the official Crater Lake has the same problem. Yeah, I was thinking about that, right? If the water is the base terrain, and then player lands all sharing the same zone, then that's where it starts getting complicated, though, because you want the player lands to have these things between them as well. So you would need a double set of, like a set of player lands consisting of water and a set of player lands consisting of land. And then you have the water player lands all share a zone, and the land player lands all share a zone with different borders. That would be the way to do it, I think. Maybe as a thought exercise, we could just do that. Aww. That's... You know what? Let's... This map is such a mess, I'm willing to try that, so... What we'd essentially do is... This is no longer a create land, this becomes a create player lands. Fine. Zone 15. What have I done? No, zone, yeah. This becomes a create player lands. But it has a water terrain, and we can even do like... Actually, let's not do a land ID just yet. So if I did that, made that water, then this can stay land if it wants to, that's fine. And then these all... Let's just... Is there a connection generation section? No. Okay, let's just do that and see what happens. I see. Ah. Oh. No. Not quite what we had in mind. Alright. The base size of these can be like 2. And we probably give it a land ID. Does this thing have an ID? No. Yeah, in principle, the idea can work quite well. I think I've seen maybe the Mad Catter in one of his videos did something along these lines. Alright, so I kind of... I think we give... 67 to... We kind of want these lands to prefer going towards the center. If I only give them 50% of the available terrain. You do end up with the other player lands making these. Okay. 15? Ah, it needs another zone avoidance distance. That's what we're missing. This is what we're missing. And what kind of avoidance distance do we need? That is an avoidance distance, that is an avoidance distance. Wow. It's a cool looking map. Are they sharing a zone? 15, 16. No! They're not sharing a zone. And this... Create player lands. Oh, these all have their own zone, don't they? What if... I just do zone... Well, we made a nice 4 lakes map. It could be an interesting map concept as such. Alright, let's undo some things. So... I guess... What if... What if these lands and these lands had the same zone? And this one didn't. Aha! There we go. That's more like it. Yeah, like that is reasonable, I find. I mean, maybe the base size needs to be bigger, but I think that's pretty reasonable. Let's see how it holds up on other sizes. You think a second set of player lands? Like two land, one water? Or something? Okay, so here, what's happened is it wasn't able to grow into a land. Even that is okay. Though it would be ideal if it didn't come to that. too often. Like, at least now we can guarantee that this island is in the middle. And we've made sort of the arms of the lake beefier, I guess. What if we give it a bit less? Let's give it 57%. Or is that too spindly? I think it looks good. Having these little parts jutting out is not an issue as such. What is the issue here? Why are these failing to grow in each case? Is it the other zone avoidance distance? We have a circle radius, don't we? That's not the issue. It could be that they're too far out because of the border, but there's no variance on the border. I think just the player lands are growing around them. Oh, no, it was the borders. It was the borders all along. I guess we were right on the border of the borders, so to say. Okay, I think instead of doing that, we up that again, then they should be too far in on the border, right? So we do that, and then we make them larger. So that they reach out far enough to grow. No, we try the other trick after all. Let's say 2, and this will become 37. It just crashed. I didn't do anything, it just crashed on me. That was not my script. No, I didn't even hit generate. Anyway, I think we're close to something that looks good here. What's the game reboots? I had a couple other crashes, those were my fault. This is not my fault. I hope those crash reports help them figure out what's going wrong. I don't know if you were here for this, but I was saying the issue with that re-enabling the mods screen is that if you click somewhere else, i.e. not on yes or no, but just on the side, then that effectively acts as a no, and the box goes away. That shouldn't be a thing, but it is. So if you click to skip the intro, you can easily end up clicking away the option to re-enable your mods, and then you have to go re-enable them manually. Which is, of course, extra fun. Let's... I know there's some issues where there used to be crashes regarding when you change the size of the map and then generate it again. But I thought those were fixed. Yeah, I think this was a good idea to put the second set of lands in. It's the type of thing, though, that the original devs from Ensemble Studios didn't think of. That you could use player lands without putting players on them. But it is the perfect solution here. Alright, a 4-player still looks fine. The big question will be how that 2-player map looks. I like these larger in-between lakes. Wow, that looks great. Yeah, there are a couple minor issues, like wood lines that are avoiding the shore will also avoid the black area, and the hills won't go up to it, but those are some sacrifices that just have to come with making a round map. This looks good. Much better than before. Yeah, this is perfect. Fake player lands for the win. Alright. Now, what would be next? Crossroads. I think this is one that I'm not going to do, I said. He says, and then decides to do it anyway. I feel like Crossroads is going to be a complicated script. Probably. They could even give the central island on Crater Lake an ID and place on that ID or something, but no. It's all just a different terrain. Anyway, good enough. Crossroads. That's Baltic. Go away. That's Crossroads. Not too complicated in terms of land generation. Shall I do this as well? I mean, we're missing some shallows or water from the official crossroads for sure. Yeah. Basically, there's some water along. I remember playing this with shallows on the outside, though. Can it sometimes be shallows? Oh, maybe it's a mega random. There's a mega random generation that looks like this but has shallows. This should be really easy to make around. You just shrink it a bit and it's done, right? Alright, maybe I'll do that as well. Then I have all the C's done. We can continue with the F maps the next time. Of which there are only 2. And 4 lakes I've already done. Yeah. Might require a bit of work, but in principle I've done 4 lakes. Okay, so crossroads. I think I see what's happening here. The water is being created with the land that is avoiding the black terrain. Okay, crossroads. Base terrain is dry grass. So we're creating the 4 hills, presumably? Yeah. We're creating 4 hills. We're creating 4 hills, which I might need to all shrink a bit later on. And then we were creating player lands made of grass. With a really big circle radius. Uh-huh. Okay. Like, in principle, this should work. Does it really need to be... Okay, so we have player lands. I just think I just need to tweak the land, the terrain generation section in this one. And also this thing needs to not be 54, I think. I think 50 will do just fine. What's happening here? We're creating leaves. That's no issue. We're creating woodies on top of the leaves. We're creating DLC rock, DLC rock, DLC rock. Okay, so far so good. These I think I have to shrink, but we'll deal with that afterwards. Then we're creating Voda on the dry grass. And it's of course having trouble. So what we are going to do is say height limits and set flat terrain. Flat terrain. Only? Would this just be water to begin with? We want some flat. If this were just water at the beginning of the map, then all of it would be water now. It's the same as if I make it all water without any spacing. I just did this. Then we end up with this ring there. This is another tricky challenge. How do we get this to be water without it being... What if I did 40? This could be a tricky one. I've got some ideas, though. What we're going to do is do assign Saigon to at team. Then we're gonna check my fancy random map scripting guide. Land generation, blah blah blah, assign to okay, I can assign to player 0. Assign to player 0. That would make it Gaia's land. If I assign it to player 1, then it goes there because direct placement, blah blah blah. Ah, dear. I want it to be a player land, but I want it placed directly. But I don't want the other lands messed up. Direct placement. Then I have to specify coordinates for the other lands. Tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Tricky. Essentially, now I need to create DLC rock. Don't want the water elevation. Ah. Ah. I might need to use lens for this, actually. Alright, I think this is a project for another day. I think I put lands there. I think we build a second set of lands. Yeah. This is a project for another day. But I think even this one can turn around. So what did we do today? We got Crater Lake looking nice and spiffing. We got Crater looking about the same, but with being round. We got Continental looking continentally and round. And Coastal Forest kind of working. Yeah, good stuff. Good night. Good night. I am going to end the stream here.